The age of billion-dollar megaprojects. Over the last few decades, humanity has entered a new era of construction. Cities are no longer measured by individual buildings. They are measured by entire megaprojects worth billions of dollars. Massive airports, underground transportation networks, high-speed rail systems, and futuristic cities rising from deserts. Governments and private investors have poured unimaginable amounts of money into projects designed to transform economies and reshape entire regions. Some of these developments became engineering masterpieces admired around the world. Others became symbols of innovation and progress. But not every ambitious vision ends in success. As project sizes grow larger, the risks become greater. A small design error, a delayed schedule, unexpected geological conditions, political decisions, or simple management mistakes. Any one of these factors can trigger delays costing hundreds of millions of dollars. In some cases, billions. Today, we're looking at some of the most expensive megaproject mistakes ever made. Projects that consumed enormous budgets, faced massive setbacks, and became cautionary lessons for future engineers around the world. Let's begin with one of the most controversial infrastructure projects in American history. For decades, the city of Boston suffered from one major problem: traffic. The elevated Central Artery Highway cut directly through the heart of the city, creating constant congestion and dividing neighborhoods. To solve this issue, officials launched one of the most ambitious infrastructure projects ever attempted in the United States. It was called the Big Dig. The plan sounded revolutionary. Instead of expanding the aging highway above ground, engineers would move much of the roadway underground through a massive network of tunnels. Old elevated structures would disappear, traffic would flow more efficiently, and valuable land would be returned to the city. Construction began in the early 1990s. But almost immediately, challenges started to appear. Workers had to dig beneath an active city filled with existing roads, buildings, utilities, rail lines, and underground infrastructure. Every meter of excavation revealed new complications. Engineers encountered unstable soil conditions, unexpected underground obstacles, and technical problems that required constant redesigns. As construction continued, costs began to rise rapidly. What was originally estimated at only a few billion dollars soon grew into something much larger. Year after year, delays pushed the schedule further behind. Contract modifications multiplied, and taxpayers watched the budget continue to expand. By the time the project was completed, the total cost had reached more than $14 billion, making it one of the most expensive highway projects in American history. But cost overruns were not the only problem. In 2006, tragedy struck. A section of the tunnel ceiling collapsed, sending massive concrete panels crashing onto a vehicle below. The accident shocked the nation. Investigations later revealed serious issues involving design decisions, construction methods, and quality control. Although the Big Dig eventually improved transportation throughout Boston and transformed large sections of the city, it also became a textbook example of how megaprojects can spiral far beyond their original plans. The lessons learned from the Big Dig continue to influence major infrastructure projects around the world today. And while Boston gained a modern transportation network, the price of that achievement became one of the highest ever recorded. If the Big Dig became famous for cost overruns, Berlin Brandenburg Airport became famous for something else: delay after delay. The airport was originally designed to become Germany's new international gateway. Located near Berlin, the project was intended to replace several aging airports with a single modern transportation hub. Construction began in 2006. Officials expected the airport to open in 2011. Everything appeared to be on schedule. But behind the scenes, serious problems were already developing. One of the biggest issues involved the airport's fire safety system. The smoke extraction system was so complex that it repeatedly failed safety inspections. Instead of directing smoke away from passengers during an emergency, parts of the system actually pushed smoke in the wrong direction. Engineers were forced to redesign major components. Construction teams returned to areas that were supposedly finished, and costs continued to increase. As delays mounted, new problems appeared. Thousands of cables had been installed incorrectly. Technical systems failed testing. Construction defects were discovered throughout the terminal. Some sections had to be rebuilt entirely. Each delay created another wave of expenses. another wave of redesigns, and another wave of public criticism. What should have been a symbol of German engineering excellence slowly became an international embarrassment. Year after year, opening dates were announced and then canceled. Passengers waited, airlines waited, and taxpayers continued paying the bill. When Berlin-Brandenburg Airport finally opened in 2020, nearly 9 years later than planned, the project had become one of the most infamous infrastructure failures in modern Europe. The airport eventually began operating successfully, but its long history of delays serves as a reminder that even advanced nations can struggle when large projects become too complex to manage effectively. What was intended to be a modern showcase for Germany slowly transformed into a warning about the dangers of poor project coordination and uncontrolled complexity. Each delay created another wave of expenses, another wave of redesigns, and another wave of public criticism. What should have been a symbol of German engineering excellence slowly became an international embarrassment. Year after year, opening dates were announced and then canceled. Passengers waited, airlines waited, and taxpayers continued paying the bill. When Berlin-Brandenburg Airport finally opened in 2020, nearly 9 years later than planned, the project had become one of the most infamous infrastructure failures in modern Europe. The airport eventually began operating successfully, but its long history of delays serves as a reminder that even advanced nations can struggle when large projects become too complex to manage effectively. For decades, California dreamed of building one of the world's most advanced high-speed rail networks. The vision was ambitious: a modern train system connecting major cities across the state. Passengers would travel at speeds exceeding 200 miles per hour. Traffic congestion would decrease. Air travel demand would be reduced, and millions of people would gain a faster way to move across California. When voters approved the project in 2008, the estimated cost was around $33 billion. At the time, supporters described it as a revolutionary investment in the future. But as planning moved forward, reality proved far more complicated. Acquiring land became a major challenge. Environmental reviews took years longer than expected. Legal disputes delayed construction in multiple regions. Engineers were forced to redesign portions of the route to accommodate changing requirements. As schedules slipped, costs continued to rise. Construction crews faced difficult terrain. Bridges, tunnels, and elevated sections required far more resources than originally planned. Every delay added millions of dollars to the final bill. Critics began questioning whether the project could ever be completed as originally envisioned. Some argued that the costs had grown beyond what taxpayers should be expected to support. Others believed the long-term benefits still justified the investment. As years passed, estimates continued climbing. $33 billion became $50 billion, then $60 billion, then even higher. Today, projected costs have reached well over $100 billion, making it one of the most expensive transportation projects in American history. Despite the controversy, construction continues. Supporters believe California's growing population will eventually require a modern high-speed rail system. Critics remain skeptical about the final cost and completion timeline. Regardless of where the project ultimately ends, California high-speed rail has already become one of the most significant examples of how mega-project budgets can expand far beyond their original expectations. It serves as another reminder that in large infrastructure projects, ambition alone is never enough. Execution is everything. Regardless of which side ultimately proves correct, California high-speed rail has already secured its place in history, not because of its speed, not because of its technology, but because it became one of the most expensive transportation megaprojects ever attempted in the United States. Its story serves as a powerful reminder that ambition alone cannot guarantee success. In megaprojects, planning, execution, and cost control are just as important as the vision itself. Others believe California still needed a modern high-speed rail system and that the long-term benefits would eventually justify the enormous investment. The debate continues today. Despite years of delays and rising costs, construction remains underway. Massive bridges, rail corridors, stations, and support infrastructure continue to take shape across the state. Supporters see progress. Critics see a project that has consumed far more time and money than originally promised. Regardless of which side ultimately proves correct, California high-speed rail has already secured its place in history, not because of its speed, not because of its technology, But because it became one of the most expensive transportation megaprojects ever attempted in the United States, its story serves as a powerful reminder that ambition alone cannot guarantee success. In megaprojects, planning, execution, and cost control are just as important as the vision itself. In the deserts of Saudi Arabia, one of the most ambitious construction projects in human history began to take shape. It is called The Line, a futuristic city unlike anything ever attempted before. The concept is simple to describe, but incredibly difficult to build. Instead of expanding outward like traditional cities, the line is designed as a massive linear city stretching for more than 100 kilometers across the desert. The structure is planned to consist of 2 parallel mirrored skyscrapers running side by side for extraordinary distances. According to its developers, residents would be able to access schools, healthcare, entertainment, and daily services within just a few minutes of their homes. Private cars would be largely unnecessary. Transportation would rely on advanced public transit systems operating beneath the city. Supporters describe the project as a revolutionary vision for the future of urban living. The announcement immediately attracted global attention. Architects, engineers, investors, and governments around the world watched closely. The scale of the proposal was unlike anything previously attempted, but almost as soon as construction began, questions started to emerge. Could a project of this size actually be completed? Could such an enormous city function as intended? And perhaps most importantly, how much would it ultimately cost? As planning evolved, estimates continued to grow. Experts suggested that the full development of NEOM and the line could require hundreds of billions of dollars. Some projections even approached the trillion-dollar range when supporting infrastructure, transportation networks, utilities, and future expansion were included. Construction in the desert presented significant engineering challenges. Materials had to be transported into remote locations. Infrastructure had to be created before major development could proceed. Water, power, transportation, and communication systems all required massive investment. At the same time, economic realities forced planners to reconsider portions of the original vision. Reports suggested that some targets and timelines would need adjustment. Sections of the project were revised as costs and logistical challenges became clearer. Supporters argue that every revolutionary project faces skepticism in its early stages. Critics argue that the scale of the line may simply be too ambitious to achieve exactly as originally proposed. Today, construction continues. Massive earthworks, foundations, transportation corridors, and support infrastructure are gradually taking shape across the desert. Whether the line ultimately becomes the city of the future or one of the most expensive experiments in modern history remains to be seen. But its story already demonstrates a lesson shared by many mega projects. The larger the vision, the greater the challenge of turning that vision into reality. The mega projects we've explored today were built with extraordinary ambition. Some aimed to transform transportation, others sought to reshape entire cities, and some attempted to redefine what is possible in modern engineering. The Big Dig changed the face of Boston. Berlin Brandenburg Airport became a lesson in project management. California high-speed rail demonstrated how quickly costs can grow when complexity increases. And the line represents one of the most ambitious visions ever proposed for the future of urban living. Despite their differences, all of these projects share a common challenge: scale. The larger a project becomes, the more difficult it is to control costs, schedules, logistics, and risk. Every decision affects thousands of others. Every delay creates new expenses. And every unexpected problem can multiply across an entire project. Yet mega projects continue to shape the modern world. They connect cities, move people, support economies, and push the limits of engineering innovation. Some succeed, some struggle, and some become cautionary tales studied for decades. But all of them remind us of one important truth: building the future is never easy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy engineering, mega projects, and construction stories, be sure to subscribe for more videos exploring the world's most fascinating infrastructure projects. Because the next great mega project is already being built somewhere right now.